Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm tired.
Yeah, ready for the weekend?
Yep. Basically
Yeah.
our Friday.
Yeah, and a 3-day weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's nice. All right, well, I hope we get more people. We should have everyone, right? Especially because you have a mini project today. There we go. Now people are getting here. We still have a couple people we're waiting on, but we'll start. Let's talk. You should already be able to see my screen. See it. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Thank goodness. So there's a quote from Booker T. Washington. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. That always makes me feel better. That quote makes me feel better. Because if I'm only measured by the successes that I've had or the position I'm in, that's going to be problematic. But boy, do I get some obstacles in my way. And somehow I do overcome them, right? So if we're counting that as success, how we're measuring it, that's awesome. So if you ever feel like you have so many obstacles in front of you that you keep having to overcome, right? But maybe you're not in the position that you would deem successful, maybe you're measuring success incorrectly, right? Maybe your success should be measured by those obstacles that you're overcoming. Because when you try to measure your success from a position, that might not be reasonable for you. Nobody else knows the obstacles that you've been overcoming, right? So we all have a lot of obstacles. So that's how we should be measuring our success in Booker T. Washington's opinion and mine. So there you go. All right, Thunderbird Thursday. We really are still Mesa Thunderbirds, even though we're not on campus ever, which is getting a little old, by the way. Have any of you ever been on campus? Yeah, a few of you. Nice. A few of you that never have been on campus because this is your first semester, which is a little bizarre, right? But that's okay. We have so much going on campus all the time. So there's two things I want to highlight. One thing is our Center for Community and Civic Engagement. And let me pull up their website because I love the stuff they have to offer. They do our civil action hour every week, which is amazing. I know some of you are interested in criminal justice and things like that, but we should all be interested in civic engagement. So they have lots of information there. I was just going to click on it and see if they have theirs for next. So yesterday I sent a bunch of my students to this one, in particular, the human trafficking awareness, especially because they were talking about child sex trafficking, and I teach the elementary education teachers. And believe it or not, it's a huge problem. And the speaker that they had was amazing. It was the Yavapai County attorney, and she serves on the Arizona Human Trafficking Council and chairs the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission. So take a look at these things that are going on. And talk about, there's going to be a town hall and then community leaders through diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we have a lot going on through the Office of Civic Engagement. I'm going to go back there. We also have service learning opportunities as well that are available to our students. We do an American Reads program, which is awesome. This scholarship opportunity, the MCC Service Scholarship, the deadline has been extended till tomorrow. You may or may not meet the criteria for this scholarship. You definitely meet the first criteria where you're enrolled in 6 credits. I don't know if you completed 100 community service hours at a nonprofit or government agency during 2020, but a lot of people volunteer a lot. 2020 was kind of a rough one to volunteer, but in the future, keep your eye out for all the MCC scholarships, but this service scholarship is a good one. I have lots of students that apply and get this scholarship. So all right. And the other thing that I wanted to show you was when you do go back on campus, and some of us have been on campus for a long time, did you know that we have more than 30 permanent public art exhibits that have been created by students and faculty as well as artists? We do. It's amazing. You might have seen some of them, you might not have. Here is where they are on campus, so you can orient yourself. You can see where Southern is and Dobson. A lot of them are down by the theater. A lot of them are by the library as well as the math building. My office is right by this one. If you walk, if you my office is right inside that door, even though you're not allowed to go in there. You have to go in a different entrance. But when I leave my office, I always see this piece of art, which is awesome. Madeline Chowdhury is a math faculty, and she looks at math and art and in history. So it's awesome. So that you can see there's a ton on campus. You can also see the installation list. It gives you a little example of each one of them and tells you a little about them. So if you've never, some of you have seen some of these around campus and you're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Well, you could come to here and you could see, I walk by this single helix all the time. So, and it's wind sculpture that's in between two buildings that I usually walk between. So it's just nice to see that our students and our faculty and resident artists are doing a lot of art on campus. So our campus has a lot to offer when we finally get back there, right? So keep that in mind. Now, what I want us to talk about today is our mini project, and we're going to still work on creating graphs. You guys are going to be in your color groups, which are your new groups, and it might take me a minute to get you in those. But let's talk about the criteria of the project. Everybody's here, which is awesome because when you work on a team project, if you're absent, you just don't get credit for that. The final copy of this is due by tomorrow night. But here's my hope that you all finish in class today. I just did this in the last class, and 2 groups were completely finished, and the other 3 groups were on their very last thing. So they were about to submit. So it shouldn't be something that you have to work on outside of class. So I'm going to put a doc in the chat for you so you have it. But hold on a second. Before you go crazy, I want to give you some instructions, and I'll pull up this doc so you can see it as well. You're going to be prepared to present your data to us. You're only turning in 1 copy on Canvas. So and we'll talk about who that person will be. When that person turns in their copy, it goes in each person on that team's Canvas. So if you're on the same team as someone else, you'll be able to see the submission. Okay. So you'll know your assignment was turned in. So the person with the most siblings on your team is going to make a copy of that doc, right? Because you can't edit it until you make a copy of it, and then share it with the rest of the team. Some of you are good at that. Some of you are not good at that. If you are troubled with sharing the doc and you just happen to be the person who has the most siblings on the team, your team is going to help you because that's going to help you in the future. So it doesn't always have to be the same person sharing. So for example, the blue team is Tashina, Danessa, and V. So Tashina, how many siblings do you have? Is Tashina still here? 2. Okay, Danessa, how many siblings do you have?
I think 1.
1. And V, how many siblings do you have?
2.
Okay. Ooh, so it's a tie. So who wants to share the doc, either Tashina or V? It doesn't matter to me. And what you'll do is you'll copy that doc that I put in the chat. And then the easiest way to do it is just add, when you get into your breakout room, they give you their Maricopa email addresses, and you share the doc with that Maricopa email address. So then everybody can edit that Google Doc. Okay. So that was just an example for the blue team. Now, some of you have 3 in your group. Actually, I think all of you have 3 in your group at least. So the other partner is going to organize how you're going to present, who's going to talk, right? And then your third partner is going to be the one who turns in the project. So you all have jobs. So make sure you know who's sharing their screen, who's planning the presentation, and then who's turning in your final doc. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the document so you can see it. I know I shared it in the chat, but I just want to go over a couple things with you. So it's similar to our data from yesterday, but this time it's pets that are owned. So for example, each person just responded which one pet they have. So one person said they had a dog, another person said they had a dog, another person said they had a dog, then somebody said they had a cat, and so on. So when you do your relative frequency table, the top left column is going to be called type of pet. The middle column is going to be frequency. The far right is going to be relative frequency. Okay. And I'm going to say, we're going to go to 3 decimal places. Okay. And I'll put that on this doc in a second. After you fill out that table, and you guys can divide and conquer, you can say, okay, you be in charge of this, you be in charge of this, you be in charge of this, because you can all write on the same document. You're going to make a bar graph of the data. Now, A bar graph is different than a histogram, right? In a bar graph, our bars will not touch. And the reason our bars don't touch is because it's categorical or qualitative data. In other words, I could move the bars around and it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if I put the dog bar first or the hamster one or the bird one. I could put them in any order. Make sure you have all of the criteria that you need. Remember the components for a graph, a title, axis labels, and everything like that. If you want to do the graph old school by hand on paper, totally fine with me. Just make sure you have everything, take a picture, insert the image into your Google Doc. If you want to do it on a website, like Create a Graph or MetaChart or another one that you find, that's totally fine. But if you could put the website where you got it, right, where you made it in there as well, next to your picture, so that you can just screenshot it and put that picture in there. Then on number 2, you have math test scores. This is the one we were talking about yesterday, where we have to make an interval. Remember that? So we want interval of size 10 that starts at 30. So our first interval would go from 30 to what?
39.
39. 30 to 39, because that's 10 units. Okay, that's 10 data points. Don't do 30 to 40. Do 30 to 39, and then so on. Then you're going to make a histogram. So on this one, the bars should touch because it's quantitative or numerical data. Okay, again, tell me where you got your graph from, like where you made it, if you made it on MetaChart or whatever. Okay, on this first one up here, I don't care if you graph frequency or relative frequency. That's up to you. And I don't care if your relative frequency is just a decimal or a percent. That's up to you. Okay. So once you're finished with the whole document, make sure everybody in your group verifies all your mathematics and your graphs. So, because you're getting 1 grade for your whole group, right? So just because one person did one piece doesn't mean you don't have to check the math and make sure it's right. Okay. Once you finish, decide how you would present this information, right? Then basically you're just going to share your screen and talk us through it. Then you can turn it in on Canvas as soon as you're done. So remember, the person with the most siblings is going to share their screen and the document. The other partner organizes the presentation, and the third partner turns in the project in Canvas. So then you each have a role. Any questions on that? No, you guys are so quiet. Was that just overwhelming? Okay. Tashina, Danessa, V, I'm putting you guys in a group. Then the next one I have, green team. You are Matt, Judith, and Josh. Purple team is Zevi, Lily, and Lee. And then what else do we have? Red team, Rookie, Annie, Brady, Zach. There we go. Okay. Everybody ready to start? Call me in your room when you're done, or if you need any help, and I'll be popping in to check on you. Okay, perfect. Get to work. Everybody else will be coming back in just a minute.
Wait, why is it just me?
No, Judith's here and Josh is here. Your whole group is here.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's good. Oh, I'm in trouble.
They're coming. They're coming. You're fine. I love how Matt's like, wait, why am I the only one here? What's happening right now?
I was so terrified.
Lily, Zevi, did you finish? Excellent. Very nice. What did you do your history?
You cut out a little bit.
What did you do your histogram on?
For the last one,
Yeah.
on the test scores.
Yeah, but what did you use? Did you use Create-A-Graph? Did you use MetaChart? What did you use?
Lillian used a OneNote and she just drew it and then screenshot it and put it in.
Nice. I forgot. I have a short memory.
I ended up using the whiteboard that's on my computer. So
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, Brady, did your team finish?
Not quite. We kind of
Okay.
experimented with another graph, and it was hard, and it took us a lot of time.
Okay. Okay, V, did your team finish?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and what did you do your histogram on?
We did 2 websites. It was Create-A-Graph and MetaChart.
Okay. Do you guys mind sharing the blue team? Do you mind sharing your screen so we can take a look?
No, that's fine. Let's see. See if I do this right. All right. It's my first time, so there's gonna be mistakes.
You're doing great. That's why we're here, to make mistakes, because then we all learn. Okay, good. So you have your table, you have your percentages highlighted. Nice. Can you scroll down?
Yes, ma'am. Here's our chart for question 1. The frequency on our left, and then the type of pets below, so that it gives us our numerical data above, and it's highlighted a little bit by being darker in color and right above the graph or the bars to make it easier to identify.
And you did that one in Create-A-Graph, right?
Yes, that was Danessa in Create-A-Graph. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now scroll down to the next one.
And then for number 2, as you could see, in intervals of 10, so 30 to 39, not like I said this morning, 30 to 40, half a week. And then the frequency of how many times, as you can see above, how many times that person or a person scored that test score. And then as you scroll below, this is the graph that Danessa also made in the meta chart that you recommended, because we were struggling. And you're muted, ma'am.
Nice. So leave it there for a minute so the other teams can see MetaChart. So Danessa, can you give any other teams helpful hints on MetaChart, like what made it easier, or was it easy in general, or?
I think it was like a lot easier than the one that I was using, like the I forget what it's called, like the kids chart, I guess. This one was a lot easier. It's pretty simple to like go through it and stuff.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys, because I know several of you were struggling with that second histogram. So MetaChart is really easy to use, I think. So, and it shouldn't take you very long. So any questions for that group? Because you can see their screen. They did a great job. Okay, I put that in the chat for you. And then you can stop sharing. Great job, Tashina. You learned something new today, right? And now let's have Lily.
Definitely.
Who was it? Lily? Who was with Lily? Lily?
Me and
Zevi? Just, oh, and Lee too. Okay, so can one of you share your screen so we can see yours, just for a difference? Nice. So you can see they left theirs in decimal form, which is totally fine. And then scroll down a little, Lily, so we can see your drawing of your. So she drew this bar graph. She just drew it on a whiteboard app that she has. So that's cool. She has a nice title. She has her axes labeled. What's one thing that we need to fix? Anyone know?
The bars are touching. And they
Yes. Yes, V. Bars should not touch. Do you see that in my directions? Bars should not touch since it's categorical. So hopefully you can make little spaces there. Okay, scroll down. Very nice though. Okay, and then are you guys, did you do your histogram?
Yeah, I just think it's a little lower.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Perfect. Your histogram, the bar should touch. Okay, just so you know. So the bar should touch on a histogram. So very nice. And you have all those labels going on. Now, they didn't put 30 to 39, 40 to 49, but that's kind of assumed when one starts at 30 and the next one starts at 40, but you can list those all too. So good job. So do you see the difference? Some people are using the technology, you know, like a pre-made chart, and some people are doing it by hand. I don't care what you do, whatever is easier for you. Okay. Any questions for this group? Very nice. You're going to fix that, right, Lily, before you submit. Okay. Before you close that, Lily, before you stop sharing, does everyone know how to save their Google Doc as a PDF? Okay. So I'm not going to have Lily do it, but I'll have her go to the menu. So, you know, on the file menu, click over there so you can see it. And then do you see the choice download? Just scroll down there, Lily, to download. It's in the middle. Go up a little more. There you go, right there. And then do you see how one of the choices says PDF? If she pushed that, it would download that PDF to her device. Then when you go into Canvas, you upload that PDF. Okay, that's how you make sure you get it in a PDF form. It's very, very easy. It's nice to do it that way. So remember, you only need one person in your group to submit. So every team know which person in their group is submitting. You need to figure that out. Let's go through. Blue team, do you know who's submitting?
Yes, ma'am.
I could do it.
Okay, so blue team knows. How about purple team?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. How about green team?
You did. That's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then red team, do we have a red team? I feel like we have a red team.
Yeah, I can submit it.
Okay, Brady will submit. And then yellow team, do we have a yellow team too? No, we don't. We just have 4 teams. Good. Okay. So, I know that this was a lot of tech, you know, understanding too, but it was also hopefully you got to work with your groups. This isn't due until tomorrow night by 11:59, but I know you want to mark this off your list, right? You don't want to wait on this. So when you're done with it, just get it turned in. If you're not the one submitting, you can still see if they submitted for you. Okay, so if something happens and you're worried that your team didn't submit, just send me a message. Okay. So this is what you have to do for homework. Your more practice is due by tomorrow night for S2. Don't miss that deadline. Then your mini project that we just did is due by tomorrow. Then you have an S3 mini lesson that's due by Monday night because we don't have class on Monday, right? No class on Monday. It's President's Day. And then you have a tutoring assignment that's just sitting there waiting for you to do it. It's due by next Friday, the 19th. Okay. All right. So your exit ticket today talks about your mini project and wants to know how your team did, how you did with your team, and how everybody else did with the team. If something did not go well, like if you have someone on your team that just did not do the part, this is your chance to tell me because nobody sees it but me. Okay. and it won't be telling on them. Don't worry about it. I promise you, I've done this a long time. I know how to make this work. Okay. But it's good for you to be honest so I can see if you have a functioning team or a non-functioning team. Okay. So answer honestly about yourself and honestly about your team. It doesn't affect your grade. Okay. All right. Besides that, you're all set. If you have any questions, stay around here. If you have any, if you're done, you can go and I'll see you Tuesday. I almost said Monday. I'll see you Tuesday and have a great weekend. I'll be here if you need anything.
Mrs. Klassen, I have a question.
I'm
So
ready.
with turning in the graph practice thing, just one person turns it in, or
Yep. And it'll go to your whole team.
okay.
They'll all be able to see it.
All right. Also, we kind of ran into a problem here.
Yeah.
But we did our first graph, just like drawing it on the thing using little arrow shapes, squares or whatever, and put it in. And the second one, we tried inserting a graph into the doc and then using a spreadsheet to punch in the values, and then it pushed out a pre-made graph kind of.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we can't move it, so it's just kind of stuck at the bottom of the whole thing. So in the
That's
box
fine.
where the pets graph is supposed to be, I just typed and explained
See
that it's
below.
stuck
Yeah,
on the bottom.
that's totally fine. And you can
All right.
delete that box if you want. But yeah, that's fine. I'll scroll through your whole document.
Okay, great.
So no worries.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Josh,
you.
your team, I know it was Josh, Matt, and you did. That
Yeah.
meta chart might be easier for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll work on that tonight.
Oh, okay? So I was gonna send my graph to you did, but Josh, are you gonna like fix it and stuff or whatever?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, if there's anything I need, I'll text you.
Okay.
And you guys can let me know too, because I can help you. So
Okay.
no worries.
So Josh, are you gonna turn it in then, or are you gonna send it to you to turn in?
I'll send it to you. I'll email it to her.
Okay.
Or
All right.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Cool.
Cool. All right, later, guys.
Yeah.
Nice teamwork.
I gotta do my exit ticket.
All right, thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Yeah. See you Tuesday.
Tuesday.
See ya.
Bye, Matt.
Bye. See you Tuesday.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
See you later. Good job today, Tashina. You learned a lot, I think.
Yeah, today
Maybe
was
not-
definitely a learning day versus talking because I was like, what are we doing? How are we doing this? And they were like,
Nope,
let me
that's
just
good.
show you. I was like, sweet, I'm gonna sit here and be quiet. You guys are great.
Yeah, I like your team. I think your team is very good.
Yeah, I had a rough start this morning, so I apologize for being late. I'm not usually late. I usually clock in, early or right on time. So I apologize for being a couple minutes late. I was struggling. So thank you.
No worries. No worries.
All right, bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.